Welcome. I know you're here because you're ready for a change. Let's talk about how we make that happen, starting today.
Months ago, my credit score was 425. I couldn't get approved for a credit card. I couldn't finance a car. I felt stuck, embarrassed, and honestly ashamed. But today, my credit score is 823. And no, I didn't win the lottery. I didn't hire some expensive credit repair company. I just learned how the system actually works. And I'm going to show you exactly what I did.
This was me in my 20s, working overtime, barely getting by. I thought working harder would fix everything, but my credit kept sinking.
In my 20s, I thought working harder was the answer. I believed if I showed up early, stayed late, and never complained,
things would eventually fall into place. I wore the tie, I learned the scripts, I smiled in meetings, I knocked on doors. No real change happened.
For years ago, I was knocking on strangers' doors every single day, smiling even when I didn't feel like it. I had a script memorized. Same words, same pitch, same fake confidence. When that didn't work, I printed resumes, dozens of them. I stood in job fairs, office lobbies, waiting for someone to give me a chance. There were days I just sat alone, thinking, how did I end up here? At this age, starting over, the pressure was heavy. Bills, responsibilities, expectations. I wasn't just fighting for money. I was fighting my own doubts. Some nights I just sat in my car before going home. I didn't want to walk inside with another no. I felt tired, frustrated, questioning myself. I kept asking, is this it? Is this how my story ends? I still remember the number, 510. That wasn't just a credit score. It felt like a verdict. Every application I submitted came back with the same word, rejected, not approved, not eligible, not qualified. It didn't matter how hard I worked before. On paper, I was a risk. And the calls, they never stopped. Unknown numbers became my biggest fear. Every ring felt like a reminder that I was behind on payments, behind in life, behind everyone else. I would answer calmly, but inside I was breaking. Then the letters started coming. Final notice. Past due. Immediate action required. I stopped opening them at one point because every envelope felt heavier than the last. It wasn't just debt anymore, it was pressure, silent, constant pressure. While I was trying to fix my credit, my wife was trying to fix the house, cutting expenses, recalculating everything, stretching numbers that just wouldn't stretch anymore. I could see it in her eyes. She was worried, but she never complained. She just carried the weight quietly. The kids had no idea what was happening. They were still laughing, still building their little world on the living room floor. And maybe that's what hurt the most. They trusted us completely. They believed everything was okay because to them, we were superheroes. I wasn't there when she had to say no. Maybe next time, she'd tell them, not because she wanted to, but because we had to choose between wants and needs. And sometimes even the needs felt expensive. That's when it stopped being about pride and started being about responsibility. There were nights I wasn't at the dinner table. I was out trying to figure something out, anything. Meanwhile, she sat there with the kids, pretending everything was normal, smiling for them, holding it together for them. And that's when I realized failure doesn't just affect you. It touches everyone you love. This was home. Not the dream, not the plan, but home. Paint peeling, stairs cracked, windows that let the cold in during winter. Every time I walked up those steps, I felt like I was walking past a life I thought I'd have by now. But inside those walls, my family was waiting, and that made it worth fighting for. My wife never just grabbed things off the shelf anymore. Every item had a question attached to it. Is this cheaper somewhere else? Do we really need this? I watched her compare prices, calculating in her head, not because she loved saving money, but because we didn't have room to make mistakes. At night, our kids slept peacefully. No stress, no fear, just quiet dreams. They didn't know about the bills. They didn't know about the calls. They didn't know how close we felt to breaking. And in that silence, I made myself a promise. They would never feel what we were feeling. Something changed in me after that night. The fear was still there, but so was a new feeling. I was tired of reacting, tired of hiding, tired of feeling powerless. And I realized something simple. Nothing was going to improve until I improved. So I started small. I grabbed a notebook and wrote down every single debt, every credit card, every balance, every due date. It was ugly on paper. But for the first time, it wasn't floating in my head anymore. It had structure, and structure gave me control. Then I did what I should have done years ago. I started learning. Late nights, articles, videos, forums. I searched things like how to fix bad credit, how to increase credit score. I didn't need motivation anymore. I needed strategy. The first time I saw the words payment successful, it felt different. Not dramatic, not life-changing, but steady, responsible. I wasn't running anymore. I was fixing it. Then one day, I checked my score again. 585. Still not perfect, but higher. Proof that effort works. That discipline compounds. That numbers respond to consistency. I started tracking everything in spreadsheets. Income, expenses, progress. I wasn't guessing anymore. I was building. And for the first time in a long time, I didn't feel behind. I felt in control. And then within few days, the stress in my wife's eyes slowly started fading. Conversations weren't about bills anymore. They were about plans. Small plans at first, but hopeful ones. And seeing her smile again, that meant more than any number on a screen, because she carried the storm with me, and now she was finally feeling the calm. It's strange how peace looks. It's quiet. It's subtle. It's just normal. No pressure in the room. No tension in the silence. Just stability. And stability felt like luxury. The kids didn't notice the struggle before, but they felt the change. A brighter room, a proper desk, space to grow. They were focused on homework, dreaming bigger dreams than we ever could at their age. And that's when I knew this wasn't about credit anymore. It was about legacy. Then one day, I saw a word I hadn't seen in a long time. Approved, in green. No conditions, no hesitation. Just approved. It wasn't luck. It wasn't overnight. It was discipline. It was late nights. It was saying no when it was easier to say yes. And in that moment, I realized something simple. Rock bottom wasn't the end. It was a foundation.
I stopped blaming the system and started learning how to use it. If I can go from 425 to 823, so can you. If you want to change your life, keep watching my videos and subscribe ASAP to get more financial tips. And thank you for your time.